live! Hello all, welcome back to the INVICTUS stream. My name, as always, is Mr. Harlan Guthrie, and I am here with the one, the only Mr. Bob Lyle.
Hello.
The lovely and talented Miss Jo Fallak.
Why, hello everybody.
And the one, the only, the zany man himself, Mr. Alex Guthrie.
What's going down?
And we are here tonight bringing you The Strange Beyond. That's right. We're back again with another chapter of The Strange Beyond. If you are watching this for the first time, welcome. A bad time to watch it because it is the second chapter, of course, but that doesn't mean you can't enjoy it. You can enjoy any chapter of this immense saga, especially the ones featuring Alex saying brup brup at the beginning. Isn't that right?
Brup.
It's, of course, going to be an 18-plus show. If you're not okay with no-no words such as pee-pee, poo-poo, violent, cannibalistic dwarf, that's okay.
Vulva.
Whoa. Hey, now listen here.
Or, if you really want to go crazy here, you could say supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
Where's that cricket sound effect? Hold on, I got it. There we go. That's right. So welcome. Thank you for joining. Thank you for hanging out. The Strange is a really cool system with a meh setting, but we're making the best of it, and we're going to have a hell of a lot of fun. Shout out to our good friend Kim, who is watching right now with her boy toy, Lucas. Well, hey, I don't want to go as far as just want to heard that you're watching this together, and look, we're all having a really interesting time with this quarantine, and we are all dealing with it in a matter of different ways. And Lucas wanted us to specifically say thanks for hanging out, and hope you're doing well, and give our love to you. So, Kim,
We love you, Kim.
Love you, Kim. Bob, it's on you to promote all the. Oh, there we go. Very nice. But yeah, if you are part of the INVICTUS group, you already know the dealio. But if you are not, make sure you join the Facebook group. It's where we get together, we chat, we hang out, we have a good time. Additionally, if you are interested in checking out our other podcast show called Dice Shame, make sure you do that. Dice Shame is a weekly podcast that we've been putting together. Alex, Joe, myself are in it. Bob listens to it, so he's included in this somehow. And we go through Storm King's Thunder by Wizards of the Coast. It is a D&D 5e podcast. It's a lot of blast, and a new episode comes out tomorrow morning. Oops.
What?
Just put on full screen. Still figuring out the Zoom controls, but God, Zoom must be making a killing right now, eh?
I'm in. It's free though, right? Mostly?
No, we have to pay for it because it only allows you to do 40 minutes.
How much is it?
$252 an hour.
Well, folks, that's it from us.
Is that Canadian or?
Yeah, the exchange rate comes out to like
Mexican.
$12 US. It's pesos. But yeah, of course, Joe is one of the hardworking healthcare workers that is working amongst this crisis. So our love to her. But additionally, well, yeah, let's do a round of applause. But part of the reason I'm saying this is because our cutoff time is going to be tight tonight. So we'll be ending for sure before 10 because she needs to work tonight at midnight, which is always a joy, I'm sure. But yes, if you know of friends or have loved ones that do work in these essential services that are currently going on, give them our love from INVICTUS and let them know that they're doing an amazing job. Because
Yeah, Venmo them like $5 so that they can get a sandwich, or email them an emoji of a high five.
Yeah.
Whatever it takes.
sandwich. Make a sandwich. That's the most important thing you can do right now. All right, are we ready to do this?
Let's go.
Ladies and
Pretty
gentlemen,
much.
without any further ado, we return to the world of... Alex, give me a theme song.
The strange and wonderful world of the strange. We're not really sure what to say. It's the strange. Welcome or goodbye, depending on how you look at it.
That's enough.
No one saw what you were doing though on your screen, did they? Because
All right,
Alex
let's
was
do it
talking.
again. Try this again, guys. Give me a more
Oh, but it
upbeat
was
theme.
on your screen, no?
Yeah, it was, guys. Let's do this again. More professional.
Strange. It's a strange. It's a strange. We're going to play the strange. We're going to play the strange. And if you can't pay attention, that's because it's so damn strange.
Oath Stoneskin was never a particularly violent dwarf. Yes, he took his job mining in the wrought mines of Crichton seriously, but so did every dwarf who called a soon-to-be dead moon their home. Natural leader, Oath found his true calling when the star in the Nihilith system died out and left the planet a barren, frozen wasteland. It wasn't long before the ice dwarves bound together and found a fondness for flesh and a shortness of temper. A temper that boiled over unrelenting as Oath's stone skin began to move towards the three hapless creatures before him, Reza, Miraz, and Charlemagne, who stood for a moment almost unsure of what to do before they chose to act. Everyone roll for initiative. This is a speed roll. So roll a d20 and let me know if you are above or below 6.
14.
Wonderful.
20.
Ah, yeah.
Wow, a nat 20, and I'm
one,
above
one an
6.
episode.
And?
A 16.
Wonderful. You had 16 too, didn't you?
14.
14, a 16, and a 20. Full of fucking songs tonight.
Perfect. So, Bob, you see this dwarf with sharpened teeth. He has almost a shaved head and a long frozen beard. Pick up a heavy axe that sits next to him where he was sitting on a stone slab. Around you, from about 4 offshoot tunnels, you see an equal number of figures approach. Each of them sort of looks more menacing than the last. Oath stands up and takes a few steps towards you. He's within 50 feet of you, so he's within a short distance. What do you do?
Well, I pull out my gun, and since we're in a cave, thinking that this guy maybe lives underground, I click on the light, and I squeeze off too.
Nice. Okay. Yeah, he's sort
Are
of...
you aiming for him?
Or are you just aiming for... I'm assuming you're aiming for him, right? You're fighting.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Perfect. Okay. Yeah. So you're aiming at Oath Stoneskin. Give me a roll. So now we're doing a combat roll, and you are attacking with a ranged weapon. So if you have any skills or training that would give you a benefit, it's going to lower the difficulty of this attack. Otherwise, you're going to be rolling a straight up and down, unless you want to expend effort to lower the difficulty of it.
And when do you get effort back, by the way? Sorry.
What?
I think it's with XP, right?
Yeah, effort. Well, effort is only the amount of points that you can spend from a given pool. So you're firing with your gun, which I guess would be a might pool. So if you want to lower the difficulty, what you could do is spend some points from that pool to lower it. And if you have an edge, it makes it cheaper. So you tell me what you want to do, and I can tell you what happens.
Let's go ahead and I'll use a point out of might.
Perfect. So do you have an edge?
No.
Okay. So you're going to be spending 3 points from that pool. So what's your current might pool?
13.
Perfect. So now you're down to 10, but you're lowering the difficulty of this attack by 1 tier, as it were. So now give me a roll, and I will tell you if you succeed. Unless you have, unless you have any skills or training that's going to benefit you here.
I don't think that was a...
Like, aren't you sharp-eyed or something?
Yes, I am.
What does that actually give you?
Let me get that.
Because I wouldn't be surprised if that helps you in some way doing ranged.
You're a vector, right?
I'm a vector.
He's got a might edge of 1.
Oh, perfect.
And
So
a speed edge of 1.
So you have a might edge of 1, which means you're only going to have to spend 2 points from your might pool. So lower that by 2 points. So you're going to be at 11 might right now.
Okay.
And because you are sharp-eyed,
And I am trained in perception actions. I can find a flaw if an opponent has a straightforward weakness, takes extra damage from fire, can't see out of his left eye or whatever. The GM will tell me what it is.
okay, cool. So because you're sharp-eyed, you eye Oathstone
Cool.
Skin up and down as he's like approaching you, and you notice that he sort of limps a little bit on his left leg.
Okay. Can I aim for his leg there?
No. Yeah, of course. Yeah, so you aim for his left leg. You're going to be lowering at 1 difficulty, so I want you to reduce your might pool to 11 and give me a roll, and we'll see if you succeed. Tell me what you got.
That's not rolling for something. It just keeps coming up 20.
Is that good or bad?
No, I think it's the one I had before. I don't know what my dice is doing here.
Roll another one just in case. And
Are
we'll
you
see.
on Invictus? I don't see you.
It says not secure.
That would be correct.
Why don't you give me... Do you have a die near you?
I do.
An old school die roll.
Who doesn't have die near them in this
17.
stream?
Success. Perfect. So yeah, not only that, you scored what we call sort of a soft critical. So 17, 18, 19, or 20 in a combat sense is going to be a critical. 17 is going to give you 1 additional point of damage. So your gun does how much damage?
+4.
Perfect. So you're going to do +5 damage. And because you target this guy in his weakened, you actually see him crouch down. He's, for lack of a better term, prone as he falls down. You want to narrate what you do? Let me know how you do exactly what I've just told you, because I want to hear it through Bob's voice.
Okay, so he's down.
Yeah, he's not dead. He's just like prone.
Okay. When I shoot and I shine the light in his face, so he kind of shielded himself, and that's where I noticed his knee or his leg was
Perfect.
messed up.
Yeah.
So I popped him a couple times in the leg, and he stumbled and fell, and his axe goes skittering across the floor.
And he's like, ugh. Well, no, he doesn't lose his axe. That's too much power. But he does go down. And he's like, ugh, you bastard. And he calls out to the others, get them. Perfect, Bob. That's your turn. Alex, what do you do?
Let's see here. So, Charlemagne Remy has this strange power that he doesn't really know what he would call it. If we're talking in terms of the game, it's called an exception, where I pick one creature within long range, and if I'm successful, they're jolted by a confluence of fundamental forces for 4 points of damage.
I know it well. Perfect. So you can, again, reduce the difficulty or just do it straight up and down. Remember, you have 4 targets closing in on you, and Oath Stone Skin is now down. At least,
Let's say that, no, I'm just going to do straight up and down. How many times can you apply effort in a round?
Because you're level 1 and you only have an edge of 1, you can only do it once.
Right. So yeah, I'm just gonna go straight up and down.
Cool. And who are you going to attack?
The main guy there.
Okay.
What's his name?
Now, because he's prone, you're going to get an advantage to attack. So he's actually going to be low.
Oh.
Yeah, because he's doing ranged.
Yeah. Okay.
Melee is advantage to attack a downed character, but range is disadvantage, right? Because they're a smaller target.
No. I think it's the opposite.
Where are you attacked?
Pretty sure.
Oh.
So Oh, yeah, it's in the defender's favor. You're right. Joe's right, everyone. Okay, so it's going to be harder for you to hit because he is smaller target. So,
Right. Okay.
going to go up.
And now that being said, is he in his native river? Is he a native creature to this recursion?
Yes.
Okay. Lucky. So there's no disadvantage, no advantage, just a roll.
Difficult one.
11.
Yeah, no. You go to fire, but it sort of sings. Well, tell me how you miss.
I lift my hand, and I'm used to doing this, but not necessarily in the midst of battle, or I should say, not necessarily the midst of battle, but when I'm not feeling at calm peace. I'm used to ordering people around, so I lift my hand, and there's this shockwave that expels from me, and it just goes off in the wrong direction, and you hear it kind of echo off the halls.
Perfect. Okay.
Now, that being said, this expends 1 intellect point. So does that mean my pool of 14 goes down to a temporary 13?
Do you have an edge?
Yes.
Then no, because your edge cancels any expenditure that you would normally have. So you have 1 point of edge. It's free for this round.
And I don't have to continue. Do I use my? Is that the one time I've used my edge, or do I just continue using?
Yeah,
my
you'll
edge?
get it back next round. And interestingly, if
Okay.
you had lowered it a tier and spent your spell, then again, only 1 point is taken off of either of those. Meaning, if you lower it a tier, and so it only costs 2 points, your edge still costs a point. So either way, you'd be losing 3 points because you can only use your edge.
Oh.
All right, Miraz. You see Charlemagne put his hand out, fire this little fizzly thing towards him. You see Reza fire at this guy's knee, singing him down. The 4 creatures are still about 50 feet away from you, but they're approaching pretty fast.
Miraz casts a slow John Travolta-esque look around, like, what's going on? Where am I?
I know the look you're talking about.
Yeah.
too.
And then
The Pulp
she
Fiction one.
she sees Charlemagne fire off this like ray of energy, and she's like, dude, that's sick. I think I could do that. And she tries the same thing. I'm gonna perform an exception.
Nice.
On the same dude, copying
Cool.
Alex. I'm gonna see if I can best him.
Oh, I hope you can.
Yeah, let's see how it goes.
On the
14.
Scottish growly
14.
guy?
Are you attacking the guy on the
Same
ground
dude,
again?
yeah.
No, that does not hit.
What?
Yep. So, again, because he is prone, he's more difficult. But he also seems pretty strong. He's a pretty beefy guy compared to the others.
Dang. Okay, noted.
Tell me how you fire and what happens.
I mean, I think I try it out, and it glances off the wall, and the ray of exception sort of just refracts and bounces up this ice cavern.
Amazing. Yeah, so you do. You see, it's now their round, I should say. You see Oath Stoneskin sort of stand himself back up and limp towards you, Reza. I feel like you're sort of closest to him, but he's now within immediate range. But again, can't do anything. He can only move 1 distance, and that's his action. As do the other 4 dwarves. And as you see them move into sort of frame, you recognize these dwarven creatures. They look like cannibals. Their teeth are sharpened for tearing human flesh raw. Dwarven flesh, maybe. And they move around you, their metallic boots cracking against the ice beneath them. They hold great clubs and axes, one with a... And they approach you. All are in immediate distance right now, and that is their round.
Does that big boy get up and approach as well?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, he can't. Yeah, I think we sort of decided that he can move in immediate range, so he's still out of range, I would say.
Just limited.
Yeah, just limited. Like crawls, maybe.
So he doesn't stand up?
No, he does stand up.
Can you give us maybe what he says with 2 bullets in his leg, like how he crawls forward on this?
Well, so here's the thing about the strange, and this is a bit of a rules thing. So they use immediate, short, and like long distances. So you could potentially get up in immediate distance, and it doesn't waste your movement, and you could still attack. He is a short distance away from you guys, as previously established. So the logic is that standing up technically would be free if he was doing an action, but additionally, he is prone, so it's more difficult for him than the other ones that are moving. So there's kind of a gray area here for what he's actually doing. So to make it easy, I'm just going to say he stands up and remains at short distance, but I will tell you what he says.
We're gonna tear the flesh from your bones and eat your eyeballs.
And his voice echoes off the breath pluming, the bones beneath his feet cracking. All right, Reza, what you do? He's still short distance. Everyone else is immediate. Tell us what's up.
I would guess that there's like boulders or large chunks of ice around here that we can take cover behind.
Yeah, I would say you'll have to move a little bit. It'll be an immediate distance, sort of a large stalagmite to the left of you.
All right. Speaking of stalagmites and stalactites, there's some in the ceiling.
Yeah, why not? That sounds like a good idea.
I think I know where you're going with this, Bob.
Okay. So
I'm liking
I again point my gun up and I just start squeezing the trigger
So what do
on
you
these large icicles that are in the top of the cave, trying to bring them down on these dwarves. Maybe take them all out at the same time.
Awesome. Okay, so the stalactites are not large enough to take out all of them potentially without killing yourselves. These dwarves are sort of moving in a circle around you, but you could absolutely fire at a stalagtite, to possibly injure, if not kill, at least one of these dwarves. And that's a really exciting option. I think that's a really cool idea. So, why don't you give me a roll to see if that happens?
Come on, Bob.
18.
Oh, wow. That's wonderful. So yeah, not only does this stalactite fall down, it just completely squishes a dwarf to nothing. An 18 does additional damage as well. So that would have been what a stalactite's damage would be, which I'm assuming is like probably at least a heavy weapon, plus 2 damage because it was an 18. So yeah, with one shot or a few shots, Reza, you see the ice stalactite come down straight through the entire body of the dwarf, almost splitting him in two.
I kind of picture it squashing, and 3 dwarves are walking towards us, and then there's. Can you hear me? Okay.
Yeah. 3 walking towards
I
you.
kind of picture 3 walking towards, and then the one in the middle just going, and then the other 2 going,
Because the dwarf, he looks up, and when it goes down, he's got his mouth open, and it actually enters his mouth.
Oh,
and
right.
Impales him. I'm not going to tell you where it comes out. Well, it's
Hate
an
to see
18 plus,
that.
so because it comes right out his pooper.
Yeah, no, it splits him right in half, and I think that was such a great idea that one of the dwarves that was staying next to him actually jumps on his corpse and starts eating him. So he's like distracted for a moment. There's still 2 dwarves in immediate range, and then obviously Oath is sort of walking towards you. But good round, and I'm going to give you XP for that because I think that was a great use of your environmental effects, Bob. I thought that was a really clever idea.
Thank you.
1 XP to you, my friend. Alex, aka Charlemagne.
well, if you think that's a good idea, Just kidding. But I am going to use my next ability, which Charlemagne would normally be using for his powers of being a king. Again, all of these are king related. Is the shatter, the shatter power,
Okay.
and that is basically I interrupt the fundamental force holding normal matter together for a moment, creating a detonation of an object I choose within long range. It's small, mundane, composed of matter such as a clay cup or iron or stone, and it explodes in an immediate radius, attacking all creatures and objects in the area for 1 point of damage.
Okay.
So I'm picturing that I do it to this stalagmite or stalactite that's gone through. I can't remember which one's.
Absolutely. I think it's stalactite, and that's great. Okay. Now
So-
you're in the area, so it will hurt you guys as well.
Attacking all creatures and objects in the area.
I can take it.
Yeah, I'm just gonna do it, I guess. So, because of that, I'm also gonna add effort. No, I'm not gonna add effort. Okay, I'll just do straight up and down.
Yeah.
this
Now,
is
if
2
you have
points.
armor, remember that's going to soak a bit of the damage.
That's why I said I could take it, because I've got like I'm wearing light. Well, my hide is light armor, so that I'm just gonna soak that 1 point of damage.
And same here. What about you, Bob? You have armor?
Yeah. My hide is light armor too.
Perfect. And I've got.
I'm
light
just kidding.
armor.
I have no armor whatsoever.
Oh no!
Really?
Oh no. Your vector should start with armor.
If you will allow me to spend some of my $700, I'll get some body armor
Oh,
because I think it's 250.
I see. Well, we'll say at the very least you have 1 point of armor for now, and then we can upgrade you after this. So yeah, don't worry about that.
So I cast this shatter, and in fact, again, it doesn't look like casting. It's just like I lift my hand and I go like a pat with you, and so I'm gonna roll, and I do a 17.
Nice. Yeah, so that's going to do an additional point of damage. So
Is that because it's a major effect?
that is because you rolled 17, 18, 19, or 20, so 17 adds an additional point of damage. Now, because it's meant to be a benefit, I'm going to allow you to not apply that to your friends.
Yay!
Maybe the chunks of ice that sail out of the stalactite are a little bit bigger for the impending
Perfect.
area.
Well, that's exactly how I designed it. Charlemagne.
So it's like blunt, not piercing.
Exactly. Does it say the actual range? Is it short range, medium range?
It actually says long range. Oh, immediate radius.
Okay. So that's only who are standing next to it. So all of you are, except Oath Stoneskin is away. So you see this radius blast. It just bounces off each of your armor. It wounds each of the dwarves around for how much you can't quite tell. But you do see some damage being taken. The one standing right next to it, gets viscera and ice just like penetrating his face as he's like eating his friend, and he gets knocked back because he's like right next to it, and he's prone.
So now, because this costs 2 intellect points, and I have I do have an edge in intellect.
Yeah, so it only costs you 1 point.
Okay, so now my 14 goes down to a 13.
Perfect, and that's your round.
And then
well done.
when do I get that back after a rest? 10
Yeah,
hours?
there are ways that you can regain. I think you have a healing ability because you are
Yes.
works miracles. So yeah, you can heal. Anyone can do a short rest type thing.
Okay.
Recover,
Good to
I
know.
think it's called.
Thank you.
No problem. All right, Miraz.
So this huge stalactite falls from the ceiling into a dwarf, and then it explodes. I think she's thrown back a little bit by the force of the explosion, and she lands beside this pile of dwarven remains, these bones, and she just picks up this femur bone that's like broken off at a sharp point. So she has this improvised shiv, and she stands up and she yells at Oath, "Well, I guess you can't pick the meat from my bones because I don't have any bones, right? And then her and her clone launch themselves at the dwarf that fell back.
Okay.
Away from the explosion. So I'm going to try to perform a melee attack against this downed combatant.
Perfect.
With the help of my clone.
So, and because he is melee, he has a disadvantage to his defense.
Right.
So you are now so his difficulty score, which you guys rolling and defending against, is now lowered because he's on this ground. And because you have a clone, they help you, which actually reduces him to nothing. So you do this. Tell us what happens.
Amazing. So I just pick up this huge bone, and my clone comes with me, just menacing. And I just stand over the dwarf, my big bulbous body burbling, and I plunge the bone into this dwarf's body. I'm going to deal 2 damage to it because it's light. It's a light weapon. Should I still roll to see if I deal extra damage?
Yes, so that's a great thing. You can always roll to deal extra damage. However, if you get a natural 1, negative stuff can still happen.
I got double 1. 11.
Oh, I was like, what? Perfect. Yeah, so
Double ones.
no additional damage, but yeah, you sink your bone into him and you hear him scream. Does seem like his armor is soaking a bit of it, though. He's wearing, dwarven iron armor
Underpants.
that's sort of frozen and rusted. Speaking of
Dwarven, sorry, I just want to make a shout out to Chronicle because I'm drinking their Dwarven Stout again.
Ooh,
Yeah,
that's a good
yeah.
one.
Delicious. Yes. Yeah. Sorry.
well done. No, it's great. Oath Stoneskin is still a short distance away, but he's standing. He is going to walk into the immediate distance, and he's standing in front of you, Reza. But that is his action. All the other dwarves, minus the dead one, are going to move. So the prone dwarf sort of shakes himself off of you, stands up, and he's going to attack you. And he doesn't really know the difference between you and your clone. So I'm going to roll. On a 1 to 3, he'll be attacking your clone. That's a 3. So he's going to take a swing for your clone.
All right. So I'm going to roll defense with my clone.
Correct.
It
Which I believe is a different stat block than you. I think it's a bit lighter, or is it?
is. It's a level 2 creature. Target number 6. I don't know what that
Well, so you're
means.
still only trying to roll against the target number of these dwarves.
That's a 9.
Perfect. So yeah, you succeed in dodging. He takes a big swing at you.
The clone just kind of slurps out of the way.
Yeah, and he's angry.
Ugh, I want to taste you.
And yeah, that's his move. The other 2 are sort of in distance of Charlie and Reza as well. So one's going to take an attack at you, Charlie. So you give me a roll as well to defend.
Charlie.
Charlie.
Sorry, I don't go by Charlie. So.
Sorry. Charlemagne, I need you to give me a roll.
Is this a 20? Obviously.
It's a 20. Everything in this game, most everything is a 20.
Oh my god. 4.
No. So, yeah, you try to step out of the way of his swing, but unfortunately it connects and deals 4 points of damage to you.
Yikes.
So you take that off
So I
of
take
your
that off my might.
might. Correct. Minus whatever armor you have. So again, you're going to soak 1. I believe you have an armor of 1.
Yeah, and you said 5 points?
4. So you're going to take 3 points of damage.
Okay.
Reza, this other dwarf stands up to you and does the same. Oh, sorry. Yeah, Reza does the same to you. Give me a roll.
How far? Let's pretend that I roll a 1.
Yeah.
Well, what happens there?
That's a GM. Not only do you fail, but it's also a GM intrusion. So I get to do something terrible.
Well, there you go. Do something terrible.
Oh.
Did you roll a 1?
Yeah.
Wasn't rhetorical at all.
So first off, you take 4 points of damage.
So
soaked
that'd
by
be
your
3
armor.
points, right?
Correct. But as the axe sort of slices through your belly a little bit and you jump back, you feel the reverberation of your shot from before, and you look up just in time to see another icicle falling down towards you. Give me a speed roll.
Don't open your mouth.
Close your anus.
Speed roll.
Close your anus.
Close them all.
Pucker up.
Oh, that was a natural 20.
Oh, okay. I mean, you dive out of the way, and you are lying prone in the immediate distance by Oath Stoneskin, but you negate any damage. However, you are now prone, and he is in melee range, which gives him advantage to attacking you when it is his turn. Additionally, there's a new stalactite just landing there. Perfect. Well done. Back top of the round. Reza, you are lying yeah, I guess you can get up now. You're lying prone in front of Oath Stoneskin.
Is it a movement action if I stand up, or is that automatic?
So with immediate, I've kind of decided, I don't know if this is proper, but that you can stand up for free if it's immediate, and you can still do your action. Anything within immediate range is free movement-wise. The minute you get short range, which is, I guess, over like 50 feet, or I guess it'd be over 10 feet, sorry, between 10 and 50, then that's going to be its own action.
Okay, so I stand up and I try to sweep the leg that I shot.
Okay, nice. Yeah, so give me a roll. Now, again, I don't want to make this crystal clear for each of you. Whether you are defending or attacking or trying any task, you can always expend effort to try to lower the difficulty. Meaning, well, other than a GM intrusion, I think that's sort of the... Well, I did make you roll for it, so you're fine. But yeah, you can always spend effort to make it easier.
Okay. 16.
16 does hit. So you sweep the leg for this gentleman who gets knocked down on his ass. He is now prone. It's a melee attack, so I would assume that's light damage.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you swipe him. He goes down. His teeth glistening in the dim light that's sort of reflecting through the cavern. Looks up to you, smiles. You see almost excited and happy to be fighting for his meal. And that's your turn. Alex, Charlemagne.
Charlemagne. So, what is that position around me right now? I've got.
So you have three in immediate range. One seems to be engaged with
Miraz.
Okay.
One just took a swipe at Reza. However, he sort of jumped out of the way, and one just hit you.
Okay, so I'm going to pull out my decorative sword again.
Okay.
Now, just for everybody at home watching, what I did is I like to, you could almost relate it to when you add a style to something. So I've taken like the saber from the equipment.
You've reskinned
and
it.
Instead of reskinned it, that's the word I'm looking for.
Absolutely. And just to make it clear, anyone can reskin anything in this game. I'm more than happy.
So I took the saber, and that's my decorative sword. And then I took light armor, hides and furs, and that's my king's robes. So I've got this decorative sword that does 2
Alex,
damage.
can you show us the picture of Charlemagne?
Oh,
that
did
you
I not
drew?
show
Oh,
it on screen?
please.
I was actually thinking about that. Charlemagne, Remy.
I love it.
The chin is key.
It's so good.
Yeah.
The butt chin. All right, tell us what you do.
So Charlemagne, he says, in a very French way, and he pulls out his
Like all those famous
sword.
French sayings.
And well, he's getting a little bit of chunks of blood and bone out of his mouth too.
Nice.
And he swipes at the dwarf in front of him, aiming at his face. You know, that's what
Way
I
to
would
do it.
because my sword is only decorative, and these guys are probably heavily armored. And with a 3,
Oh.
with a 3, my sword it ricochets off of his chin.
Yeah, literally, it's like decorative. So you're like, huh, ding! It like
Yeah.
bounces off, like so clearly not even. And he just looks at you and he's like,
It's like not even as sharp as his razor.
not even as sharp as his teeth.
Yeah.
Miraz, what do you do?
So there were 4 dwarves. One of them ate a stalactite.
Bingo.
The one that Charlemagne just attacked is Oath, right?
No, Charlemagne's attacking the one in front of him.
So the one that attacked Reza is Oath?
One that attacked
Yeah.
Reza is Oath, yes. I should say there were 4 unnamed dwarves.
Oh, so 5 total.
Correct.
4 red shirts and
Yeah, exactly.
captain.
Great way to think about it.
Got it. One of the red shirts is dead. One of them just swung at my spawn.
Yes.
Clone. Okay. So we each have 1 plus Oath right now.
Bingo.
I think the clone is kind of occupied with the ice dwarf that we had just laid into. Me with my dripping bloody bone in my hand. I'm going to try to attack Oath with a exception.
Okay.
And I'm going to lower the difficulty on this with some effort.
Okay.
So I have 1 edge. I'm going to expend 2 intellect from my pool.
Okay.
Lower the difficulty by 1 tier.
Perfect.
Here we go. Mwah. 18.
Yes, that hits and does 2 additional points of damage.
Thing.
So what do you normally do?
That is a 4
Perfect.
damage.
So you're doing 6 points of damage.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect. Well done.
Pew.
6 points of damage. That's excellent.
Do
Way to go.
Oathstone Skin's face.
Thank you. Good
Yeah,
song.
he's really engaged with Reza, and they're getting pretty serious. And he feels this like at his back, and he turns around, and that same sort of excitement in his eyes meets yours. What does Miraz do?
No bones, man. No bones.
He's getting a bone in his rear and he gets that excitement in his eyes.
Yeah, he likes it.
What are we playing here?
Well, no, you did an exception, so
yeah,
not with your
so
bone.
I don't know what that is.
You're like at a distance-ish.
I
right?
just shake the quantum reality of his atoms to such a degree that he starts to slosh and fall apart inside.
Nice. Yeah, he feels it and he likes it. Perfect. So the one in front of your clone is going to attack your clone again because he sort of missed. So again, give me a roll for that.
2.
So he hits. He's going to hit your clone for 4 damage.
Bummer.
However you'd like. The one in front of you, Charlemagne, takes a swing at you with his axe.
Does he? And he probably misses because I rolled a 16?
Yes, he does miss. His axe swings wide, and you sort of do a little hop.
Yes. Very French of me, and I go, pit.
Reza, the one that you just jumped away from, so not Oath, but he takes a step towards you because he's still in immediate range. And he's going to take a swing at you. Give me a roll for that.
If 18.
Oh, easy. And then Oath is really excited to finally get to do some action. And he draws back and he goes to take a swing at you as well. Now remember, you can expend effort or any skills that you might have to make this easier. But he's going to attack you, so you will have to roll again.
6.
So no, he swings towards you and you can feel his axe, his large ice axe, sink into your side. You take 6 points of damage. Your might, obviously reducing from the armor that you might have. And as his axe sort of sticks into you for a moment, he locks eyes with you and says, "You're in our home now." Licks his sharp teeth and pulls the axe out again and licks it.
Yikes.
All right, Reza, you are standing in front of this horrific dwarf and his friend.
I'm sitting there holding my side, kind of bleeding out because I'm about dead. But I'm going to try to fire point blank right into the leader's forehead.
Okay. Yeah, now I think point blank does have a thing, but I don't remember it. I believe there's either a bonus or a hindrance to being point blank. but I don't remember. So we'll just do it straight up for now.
Okay. I rolled a 16.
Oh, yes, you do hit. How much damage do you do?
4.
4 damage. Okay. Yeah, you fire point blank at this guy's head. He sort of shocked by what you're doing. He's never seen this before. He's still kind of confused. He reels back. The blood sort of splashes the ice behind him. But he kind of leans back towards you, and you see that it's sort of grazed the side of his head. He's still standing. Charlemagne.
He's still standing.
I wanted to sing that so bad.
Charlemagne, he takes another swipe. This time, he goes for a stab action. Hopefully, with an 18.
Yes, plus 2 damage. So what is this, a light or a...
It's a light, so it's 2 damage, so 4 damage.
4 damage, perfect.
Bet he pokes him in the eye. Maybe he pokes him in the eyebrow. 4 damage.
This is the first time you've actually hit this guy?
Yes, it is.
Okay. And Miraz.
I think Miraz sees her spawn getting attacked by this fucking dwarf, and she's gonna try to shank him again.
Okay.
That thing, shanking somebody.
Oh, absolutely.
Great, I'm gonna do that.
Now, this creature is still helping you, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. Now, I think the help action applies to creatures that you're both engaged with.
Correct. So I'm gonna turn from having attacked Oath and focus back on this one red shirt dwarf.
Perfect.
Roll to attack. That's a cracked die. 10.
Perfect. Yeah, that hits.
Oh, okay, great. So that's another 2 damage. Do I murder him
Nope.
viciously?
9. But he does take a swing at you. Give me a roll.
Okay. 8.
8. Yeah, you're good. You see the clone still squishing out of the way.
So he's still attacking the clone.
Yeah. I mean,
Okay.
I feel like they're not particularly, sane. They're just kind of really wanting
Yeah.
to flesh an attack.
I just looked up point blank range.
Yeah.
If a character uses a ranged weapon against a target within immediate range, the attacker gets a 1-step modifier in his favor.
Ah, well, he hit anyway, so.
Yeah, just for future.
But good to know. Thank you. Perfect. The one in front of you, Charlemagne, attacks. Give me a roll.
Of course he does. And I roll another 3. Ow! Stop hitting me, he says.
Yeah, he hits you for 4 damage. What's your
So
might
that
at?
would be,
Yikes, guys.
that's 6.
Yeah. Now
So
remember, I gotta stress this. You can be using your pools to be modifying the rolls. Remember, anytime you're defending or anything.
I
How
forget
does
about
that
that.
So you can, anytime you're attacking or defending, doesn't matter. Pretty much any roll in this game, you can make it harder or easier. Well, easier is what you probably want to do. For instance, I'm now making you roll defense to see if you can defend against this. You can lower the difficulty of that roll by spending effort.
Would we be spending speed pool?
Yes, speed would be most logical. However, the game is designed such that you can argue anyway. If you want to spend intellect to distract him, if you want to be creative and think of something really interesting, you can do that. Additionally, if you have XP, you can always use XP at any point to reroll any d20, whether it be to hit or damage. It's important stuff because I don't want to TPK right now. It's got a lot of work to do, guys.
Okay.
All right.
How are these
Noted.
dwarves doing right now?
The one in front of you, well, you know what? Give me an intellect roll.
I would love to.
Wait to go. Oh, they're fine.
That's a natural 1.
Yeah, so GM intrusion. You try to
You're
look.
a dumbass.
No. You try to look at the dwarf that's been engaged in your clone, and he kind of sees something in your eyes, and he realizes that he should be attacking you, and he's going to switch his attention towards you.
Yeah.
The one in front of you, Bob, is the unnamed dwarf, takes a swing at you. Why don't you give me a roll?
I'm going to use a point. Can I use that in speed?
So it's going to cost 3 points, and yes, you can to lower it.
I
Okay.
think he does have an edge on his
Oh,
might
if you have an
and
edge
his
in
Yeah,
speed.
speed,
yeah,
then
I've
it's,
got a-
then
I've
it's
got a
only going
1.
to cost 2 points. Yeah.
Thank God. 20.
Nice.
Natural 20?
Natural 20.
Perfect. So not only do you succeed at it, you get a major effect that is benefiting you. And
Oh
I'm
my
going to make it
gosh.
real nice. That same ricocheted bullet just is shaking this cavern. And sure enough, you look up and you see another stalactite falling. And as this dwarf like reels back to swing at you, he looks up and through his eye this time, it's just pins him to the ground in front of you as you're like cowering from his attack, and he just dies right in front of you. Yeah, well done. But Oath is still in front of you, and he's going to take a swing.
I thought for sure you were going to say that the bullet ricocheted, and it came like 10 minutes later. It comes
It's
back
just
out of
been
the
bouncing
cave.
around.
No, so yeah, this Oath Stone Skin is about to take a swing at you. Again, do you want to change anything to modify this one?
Yeah, I'm going to have to. It takes some more out of speed.
All right. So again, it's going to be 3 points because you can only use your edge once per round.
Okay. So that'd be 16.
By the skin. You're good. Yeah, he takes this swing at you, and you sidestep him. And you see for the first time a flicker of like anger in his eyes. Like maybe losing the guy right next to him is giving him pause for thought. All right, Reza, it is your turn.
Okay, I'm going to need to get to some cover. So what I do is I just kind of throw myself back, and I take it that the floor is ice also, right?
Yes.
You said?
Bone-covered ice.
The floor is ice. No, it's lava. No, it's ice. Okay, bone covered ice.
So when I hit, I kind of push off and kind of go sliding backwards.
Yeah, you're like skating.
Yeah. And
Love it.
while I'm doing that, could I open up the little case that I had from the last episode?
Yes, you absolutely can.
Okay, as I'm sliding on my back, I take out this little case and I pop it open to see what's inside.
Yeah, roll 1d6 for me.
Two.
Who? Hey, that's pretty good. You see a little ring inside. Just a simple obsidian ring. Now, with most ciphers, you have to spend time with them to sort of, whatever. I don't know, maybe that'll be the rule. But for this one, Damien Awesome Cool has attached a small note to it. And he says, Damien Awesome Cool here. It reads in his voice, like plays the sound. He's like, whoever I give this to was probably pretty awesome. It was someone I undoubtedly screwed over, but they treated me fairly, and I liked them. So here you go. This is a force field ring. It adds +1 armor to you for 24 hours. And then a little zoop that cuts out. Yeah, so you've gotten a force field ring.
That's
For
sick.
24 hours, it gives you an additional armor point.
I'm gonna need it.
Yeah, and I'll let you, because you're currently moving and hiding on this round, I'll let you slip it on if you'd like.
Okay. And I slip it on and I turn invisible.
I love half of you as much as I love that's you this once. All right, Charlemagne.
Charlemagne Remy. He postures himself as usual. He props himself up straight. And he's going to take another swing at this damn dwarf standing in front of him. Or is this the
Again.
one that got crushed?
No, this is the other one. So again, you can make it easier to hit. You can
will.
do a number of things. You also have, I don't want to tell you to play your game, but you have a skill that does 4 damage and a light weapon that only does 2 damage.
Yes.
So start playing with your pool noodle.
Blast him.
I hear what you're saying. I appreciate
But
that.
I don't care.
Nope, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna take your advice, little brother. I'm gonna perform an exceptional exception,
Good.
and therefore,
So
let me
it
just read this
costs
again.
a point, but because you have an edge, it is free. So
Right.
you can spend effort and spend 3 more intellect points to lower it, or you can just attack and hope for the best. But remember, if you have XP, you can use it to re-roll. So if you don't succeed and you really want to, you can re-roll.
No, and I don't have XP either.
Yes, you do. You got one last turn. I gave Joe
No,
a
I
GM
think you
intrusion
just
and she
swapped.
gifted you one.
Oh, that's right. Last game. Oh shit. I didn't have a
Character sheet.
I'm just gonna go straight up and down for this
Go
fight.
for it.
I'm gonna learn this better.
I don't want to tell you how to do.
For now, a 15.
15?
Yep.
Yeah, you hit.
All right. So that does 4 points of damage,
Perfect.
and they're in their native surrender.
Yeah, you see this dwarf before you. He is barely standing. What does your actual attack do to these people? I mean, this is a skill. This is a skill that you didn't even understand or know you had. So first off, explain what Charlemagne is doing and what he thinks is happening and what actually is happening. Because this is something that didn't exist until he came to this world.
Really, eh? Okay. Basically, so I'm gonna backtrack actually, because I think he did use it in his own world, but it
Okay.
wasn't what it was now. So it's kind of maybe it's just on steroids in this recursion.
Okay.
Is that fair to say?
Sure.
Because back where I'm from, in the 700 AD recursion,
Yeah.
Earth, it's sort of like an overwhelming sense of fear and worry that
Okay.
my enemies would have, and they would cower out of the room, right? And therefore I just have my way. But here it's almost like their brains get little fried every time. So like with this final push of force, there's no sparklers or anything, but if it was raining in the room, actually even better, there's dust around, and
Yeah.
you see kind of the reverberation through the dust, and you see this dwarf's brain scramble, and it's
Yeah.
like, this is your brain on drugs. It's like a
And
scrambled egg.
for Charlemagne, you're kind of used to this. You think that, but I also feel like maybe there's an element in your old world where the people would sort of just act like it. They were kind of like, oh,
Right.
yes,
Yeah.
sir, because they knew. And you kind of think this is just a social response, but to this dwarf, he feels like a drill just scrambling the insides of his brain.
Yes, exactly. And that's what the on steroids part. Like, it's in a different recursion. It acts a little differently. So
are you just
it's
like insulting him right now? Or
yeah, fair enough. I actually was just thinking that. So Charlemagne stands up. He says, you better sit down, you silly little dwarf. And he goes, yeah. And there's like this reverberation, and then the dwarf just goes, and his eyes kind of
and it's like fear, and he's like looking towards his other dwarven friends, trying to be like,
silly little dwarf. And I continue on in like this insulting, you're nothing but a speck of dust on this primordial earth. You should go back to where you came from, which was your mother's vagina, you silly little person. You're
amazing.
Nothing.
Perfect. Okay. So yeah, you do that. Well done.
And then he crumples in front of me.
Joe, Miraz, you see this dwarf turn from the clone that it was attacking. It's your spawn, I should say, your sister. And he turns towards you, this stocky, greasy looking. His face is dark and muddy, but his teeth are still sharpened beneath the matted beard. He looks towards you.
Miraz pulls her metal glasses down on the bridge of her snoot and says, chill out, man. and she reaches her hand down and puts it right on his forehead, and blast of psionic energy ripples through him. I'm going to try to attack.
Perfect.
Can I still use my clone as an assistant?
Yeah. For this guy
To distract him?
Yeah.
That's a natural 20.
Whoa! Yeah, so not only do you attack him successfully, but you kill this guy.
Fuck yeah.
So tell us, first off, Miraz had this ability, obviously. She is sort of part of a different world than Charlotte. This is something that you're not surprised by, but what is it, how does it work, and what happens as we see this creature die?
She might not look like it, but Miraz, the Benthead creatures are fairly advanced intellectually. They're very scientifically aware creatures. I feel like she knows how to kind of unlock the quantum jargon, insert here, like psychic link into subatomic particles. So she can, like, I guess she's just expending effort to create this mind-body quantum awareness link between her matter and the matter of the dwarf, and it just kind of like all of the electrons flop upside down and then explode.
Amazing. Yeah, and his brain, is it also his brain like Charlemagne?
Oh yeah, it's definitely brain stuff, brain problem.
Perfect. Yeah.
And then I would be dealing 4 damage ordinarily with this effect.
Yeah.
Can you tell me if that would kill the dwarf outright anyway?
You'd be sweating 4 damage. What do you mean?
I would be dealing 4 damage with this effect, regardless of the natural 20.
Oh, would you be killing it regardless?
Yes.
Yes.
So I'm wondering if I can use that major benefit elsewhere and retain the murder.
like maybe send brain skull fracture chunks into something else.
Sure. Yeah, you can use the major
Sure,
benefit
sure.
elsewhere if you'd like.
I would just like to strike fear into the other dwarf that is there are 2 remaining? Oath and a
No, well, there's Oath and then the one standing in front of Charlemagne, yes.
yeah, so I would like that to further frazzle the dwarf that's standing in front of Charlemagne and maybe cause him to take some steps back or even to run.
Sure. I think he's definitely afraid. He's already afraid because Charlemagne like put up his hand and like insulted him to the point where his brain started to hurt. So he'll take a few steps back. I'm going to say he's going to try to escape, I suppose. Who knows how far he'll get. But yeah, I'll let you say that he's no longer aggro on Charlemagne.
Yeah.
Perfect. All right. We are top of the round. The man who's no longer aggro, the dwarf, runs a short distance away. He's still in the room, but you can see he's trying to get away from you. And Oath turns towards you, Reza.
A while since we ate. I'm excited.
He's like totally unfazed by everyone dead around him. He's so laser focused on you, and he is going to try to attack you once again. Give me a...
Two.
Give me a 2.
So he reels back with his large double-sided axe, sort of spins it a bit in his hand, and sinks it cleanly into the side of your neck, depending on how
Oh
many
my
might points you
God.
have. And you take 6 damage.
Damn.
Minus armor, minus 2 armor, because you do have the ring now. You take 4 points of might damage. What's your might pool at?
Right now, with that 4, it's 2.
Can we apply it like the effort after things happen, or does it have to be
No.
before?
And I'm going to offer you a GM intrusion right now, if you'd like to take.
Trade-off.
So if you would like to take this, you get XP, and you give XP to either Joe or Alex. If you deny it, I take an XP from you, which I've already given you. So I want this attack to give you lasting damage, meaning that this attack hit you for 4 points after armor modifier. I'll allow you to heal, but you're going to be 4 points below your might pool until you rest for at least 12 hours, because this attack was not, just an average. This is something that you can feel the ice around your wound. Something about it feels off. But it's your choice.
Yeah, I'll take that. So it's like a radiating cold.
Yes, you kind of feel, I don't want to use the word infected because it sounds too heavy, but something lingers to the point where it feels like it is not.
I will share the XP with Joe and Alex.
So you can only pick one. So you get 1 XP, and then you can share with someone else.
Or Joe.
All right, Joe.
Thank you.
Woo! All right.
So
that was
so I get XP and Joe gets XP, right?
exactly. So now you have a total of 2 XP because I don't think you spent to reroll.
That must be a sight that
And-
Charlemagne is like pretty stoked about. Beheading.
Yeah, I'm used to it. Except you went at that wrong angle. You're supposed to go straight on. Is much quicker. And now Charlemagne catches himself as he's instructing the enemy how to chop up his.
He's a kind ruler. All right,
I-
Bob.
I digress.
Reza, it is back to your turn. What do you do?
Okay. I'm going to say that the side that the axe hit me in the neck is my dominant side, so my right side.
Okay.
So I can barely lift my gun, still on my back from when I slid. I've got a gaping wound in my side, and now I've got one in my neck. And I try with a shaky hand to aim towards the dwarf, and I fire.
All right. Give me a roll.
16.
Oh, wow. You're rolling rocks on
Yeah.
the 16s. Yes, you succeed.
Bad on the defense, great on the offense.
Yeah. So how much damage did you do? 4?
4.
Perfect. Yeah. He staggers a bit, but he's still standing. All right. Charlemagne, your turn. There is a man running away from you.
Yes. But there is also a man who tried to cut off the head of my teammate. And I cannot let this happen because not in my cave, he says.
This is your cave now?
Not in my lands or not to my fellows. Screw you. I'm not allowing this. I am the one who cuts off heads, not you.
So what are you doing?
Charlemagne runs up with a limp wrist, and he takes a swipe with his decorative sword at the head
Okay.
of Oaken Fist or whatever his name is.
Oath.
With a, can I apply effort?
No, not after.
Okay, with a 10.
Yeah, you miss. You take a swing, and it goes wide.
And I do like a hop and a.
Oh, then it hits.
I love it. Miraz.
I'm gonna help my friends with this big boy. I think if we work together, we can accomplish anything. So
That's right.
I'm going to reach out with all my might, and I'm gonna try to injure him with my brain juice.
Okay. And you're not going to do anything to modify it?
I guess my clone is right beside me. I can't think of why she would be helping me, so I'm not gonna apply the modifier.
I think maybe after this round, at the end, you can kind of command her to head over there, and maybe she can help you.
That's what I'm thinking. Like D&D rules, when you have the help action, the person who's helping has to be within melee range of the aggressor. So.
Yeah, and despite you being immediate, I think we all agree that contextually it doesn't really make sense since you just blew up a guy's brain.
Yeah, totally. So I'm gonna try to make an exception out of this fool. 17.
17 does hit, and you deal an extra point of damage.
6. So that's 5 damage.
Perfect.
All right.
Okay. Yeah, he's He's wavering.
Oh no, but he's still
come
standing.
But he's still standing, and he is going to perhaps take another swing at Bob, or, Charlemagne just swiped at his head. I'm gonna give him an option. I'm gonna roll.
He's pretty
1 to
mouthy
3.
too.
He's gonna stick with Bob,
Yeah.
unless
Ooh.
you want to goad him, Charlemagne.
I do. That's what was in my mind, actually, just this very moment. I was saying, oh, come on, you silly little pathetic dwarf.
Okay.
If that is what you're called. If you're not a leprechaun, you silly little
Oh.
leprechaun.
I will offer a GM intrusion for you to pull his attention. However, that's nowhere near enough of a suffer. So if he does engage with you, there will be a secondary negative action that I already have in mind. It will break your weapon in 2, whether he hits or not.
My decorative weapon? Okay, fine. I'll take it.
All right. So you get an XP, and you can give 1 XP to either Bob or Joe.
It's going to go to Bob, because I don't think he's had enough skill.
All right.
I've got 2.
Now you got 3.
You
Perfect.
have 2? Well, then, but so does Joe.
Yeah, now everybody's got
Just
many XP
take
you have,
it.
Joe?
Take it, Bob.
Okay, I'll take it. I'll take
Take
it.
it. Take it, Bob. Take
All right.
it.
Yeah, so Oath sort of stops, turns around to you real slow and menacingly, and he's like, all right then. And he reels back, and he's going to take a swing at you. Give me a defensive roll.
Can I apply effort here?
Absolutely.
Before I roll?
Yeah. So if you like to use
Yes.
speed, do you have an edge? You don't have an edge in speed. So you're going to spend 3 speed points, and you can bring it down 1 tier.
I'm going to do that. So now that brings my speed pool down from 13 to 10.
Correct?
And it's going to bring it down a tier, which will make it easier for me to succeed. As long as I don't roll like a 1 or something. A 10.
So he still hits you, unfortunately.
Oh, okay.
But good use. So he brings it down. You actually try to hold your decorative sword up to block it, and it just snaps in 2 because it's a decorative sword. But you
Of
can still
course.
keep it.
But you
And
have 2 smaller ones.
You take 6
Fuck.
points, and you take 6 points of damage. You have 1 armor, so you take 5 might damage.
I can't.
Are you
I'll be a
dead?
negative.
That's okay.
Yeah.
So your might pool drops to 0, and you are impaired. And I'll talk about that in a second. But that was his turn. Bob, it's your turn.
Okay, while he's engaged with
I'm just
Alex
gonna go get
there.
another beer so I can be impaired.
Good. Good. Don't act. Use
That's
it for real life.
Thematic.
All right, Reza.
I raise my gun again, 2 hands, because I'm more numb now. So it's down my shoulder and my arm and up into my head,
Oh, yeah.
and I pop off a round
Right.
towards Ulf.
Okay. Do you want to do anything?
No, I'm going to save it. 19.
Nice.
Excellent.
That is a hit with 3 extra points of damage.
So that'd be 7.
That will be 7. Oh, yeah. 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh. Reza, what does it look like when you kill this dwarf?
Everything slows down. I can see Alex, his sword breaking. I can see little chunks falling off real slow. I see the dwarf, Ulf, when he hears my shot, he starts to turn. And as soon as he does, it enters his eye. And again, slow motion, his head explodes in the back, shattering the wall with brains and skull.
Yeah, and his lifeless body just falls over to the ground. I mean, there's still one guy just a bit down the hall. Are you letting him run, or are you gonna bother trying to ace him?
No, I fall back.
Okay. What about you, Charlemagne or Miraz? Charlemagne, you just watched Reza kill Oath Stoneskin in front of you. It is your turn. You see that last dwarf running down that hall. He is still in medium to short range. You can attack him one more time.
But I'm impaired.
Yeah, so I will read to you what. So if one of your pools, anyone, drops to 0, you become impaired. It means you are basically wounded or injured. You apply effort at 1 extra point per level applied. So for example, applying 1 level of effort costs 4 points instead of 3. And applying 2 levels costs 7. So basically, anytime you spend effort, it's worse. An impaired character, you ignore minor and major effects on any of your rolls, and you don't deal as much extra damage. So anything above a 17 only gives 1 extra point. Other than that, you're fine unless another one of your pools drops down to 0. So now you only need to worry about healing yourself. But it is your turn.
Okay. Understood. Well, then I'm gonna perform an exception on the dwarf that's running away.
Perfect.
Because it's long range.
Yep.
And so that I can't really apply effort because that's not going to do anything at this stage. It just causes me more. Well, I could.
I mean, you could, but it would be riskier.
It would just cost me 4 points as opposed to 3.
Yes, which means one of your pools could get close to 0.
Yeah. Okay, I'll just do it straight up. Okay. With an 18.
Hey!
Woo!
So not only do you hit for your 4 points, you do an additional 1. You kill this man. How?
Oh, great. I go, yo, he can't get away. And again, I with a flimsy wrist, I point at the you need to die now. And the dwarf running away just kind of goes.
He just stops. He stops and he's like, and you see his hands shoot apart as the blood goes from his ears, and he just falls over dead. And the 3 of you are standing in the center of the cave around the dead dwarf. Well done, guys.
Nicely done.
Good fight.
And I turn to Reza and and I say, well, that was easy. No thanks to you two. And then can I perform a healing touch?
Absolutely. So at this point, you can do. I know you have an ability, but additionally, anyone can do recovery rolls if they'd like.
I would like.
So the recovery rolls are really interesting. You can, rather than spend just time like it is in sort of D&D, your first recovery roll is just an action. So you can always do it even mid-combat. Your second recovery roll takes 10 minutes. Your third recovery roll takes an hour. And your fourth recovery roll takes 10 hours. So basically, you roll a 1d6 and add your tier, and you recover that many points. And then you divide them among your stat pools however you want. And basically, the first time you rest any day, it only takes a couple seconds to catch your breath. So
now that all said, because I work miracles,
this
I
is
actually
apart from
have
that.
the heal.
Exactly.
That's
So
right.
you can heal.
But I also have the healing touch.
Exactly. So Alex, your character can heal sort of outside of all of this.
So,
So for instance, if you haven't rested this day yet, which you haven't, and we've taken a lot of damage, you can rest for a few seconds, regaining 1d6 plus 1. And then you can rest again for 10 minutes, which is another 1d6 plus 1. You know, if you do nothing but one full day in a rest, you can recover 4d6 plus 4 points, essentially.
okay, so I think we should all just rest and do 1d6 plus 1.
Yeah, I mean, your skill might have a cost. I don't know. You'll have to look at it. But
It does. It costs 1 intellect, so it's basically free. But then I can perform that on myself.
Exactly.
Because I'm really injured. So I'm going to do that. So I'm going to rest and
Now,
just do my 1d6 plus 1.
Important to note that Reza, you can only get to a maximum of whatever your might is minus 4 because you have this wound that seems to not be willing to heal.
Yeah, I got back up to 8. So
Perfect. Yeah. Once you sleep, it's gonna be gone. But right now, your max is lower. So yeah, you guys look around at this pile of bones. This dwarf who's lying dead before you. You catch your breath. What do you say? What do you feel?
Not cool, guys. Not cool. What the crap just happened?
I don't understand. How are we any closer to finding what we are looking for? We are not. We are not any closer. Now we have 3 dead little men.
5.
The 5. I can't count. I'm French. In the 7th century.
I'm kind of kicking around the remains of the leader, and if I can, I pick up his axe and I throw it to Charlemagne. And it's like, here, take this for your loss.
Yeah. Thank you. And I catch it, and the weight of it just pulls me down to the ground in a cartoonish fashion.
Yeah, it is unfortunately too heavy to use for you. I don't think you can.
I cannot wield that. No.
But you notice you spend a few minutes looting his body, I'm assuming, and sort of poking around. You do find a comparable light weapon of your choice, Charlemagne, if you'd like. Something that is,
Yeah, let's say on Oak, I find the like a dagger.
Perfect.
You know.
And you find some elf ears on him, so like pointed ears and like a keychain ring almost, and enough money for a moderately priced item.
And Charlemagne takes the opportunity, walks up to his his teammates here, and he says, I didn't really mean what I said. You did a good job. And that's it. That's all he says. And he kind of continues walking around, looking around. That's all you're gonna get as far as a compliment.
Miraza's gonna hang on to this bone. She's grown attached to it. So she just like slides it down at like a weird flap in her side that's just part of her body.
Okay.
she's got pockets in her, just on and in her. And she turns to Reza and she's like, "Yo, what did you pull out of that bag? That's cool, man."
It's like, yeah, it's
the ring.
just a cool little ring. I put it on and I almost felt invincible for a second until I got hit in the neck with a giant axe.
Yeah. That sucks. That totally sucks. Can I see that just for a second?
It's like, no, it's mine.
I just want to kind of what is it called? I can sense strange ciphers in situations where their presence isn't obvious. And I have to study them for a minute to get a feel for them. So I guess I'm just kind of like watching Reza go about his, I don't know, healing himself, regaining his composure, staunching the flow of blood from his neck, and just kind of like checking out the thing that he has on his hand. And it's like the wheels are turning in my head. Like, that's cool. How does it work?
Yeah.
I'll take it off and I'll let her see it.
Sure,
no,
yeah.
dude, no. Reza, this is yours, of course.
So this is something that really of a feeling of. Give me an intellect roll.
Absolutely. I want to spend edge on it.
Oh, perfect.
So that's just an 8.
Okay.
But I want to have lowered it, so I'll spend 2 intellect points.
Perfect. Yeah. So you take a moment to look at this item. You feel like it has a name, force field, and it's level attributed to it. But as you get this item in your hand and you sort of turn it around, your skill specifically says that you can sense ciphers powers.
You can sense whether creatures of an alternate recursion, creatures of the strange ciphers, or other related phenomena are active in situations where their presence is not obvious. So I feel like I get a whiff of this strange magic, and then I feel like I could I could start to smell it out in certain other places if there's anything else present in the nearby vicinity.
Yeah, and that's exactly what happens. You start sniffing the air, and as you're looking around the many tunnels that you standing around, you get the sense that in one direction it's a bit stronger.
The phalanges at the end of her snout kind of like warble off toward the tunnel that she's smelling this odor of magic from, and she just starts to kind of wander off. And the clone isn't paying attention at first and is kind of like just following Reza around suspiciously, and then notices that Miraz is gone and starts to follow her too.
Yeah. What are you guys doing? Are you following or?
Yes, but actually, while she's kind of doing this about the ring, I turn to Reza, and I'm inspecting his wound, his gaping neck wound, which I don't know about you guys, but I kind of picture his like neck and arm are separated, and like the gash is
Like comically, he's like, I don't know if this is right, guys. I don't think it should feel like this.
Yeah. So I'm gonna perform my healing touch, and I place a hand on Reza, and I say, "Don't move. I have very good hands with putting together the stitches. How you say pushing together, and it's not making any sense, but he does 4 points. I restore 1d6, which I rolled a 4. So
You know what? I'm going to allow it because this is not a innate recovery roll. This is a very specific skill that Alex has. It's called
healing touch.
So I feel like that does negate the intrusion. I will allow it. Well done, Alex. Very specific.
Thank you very much. And I didn't realize that what you were saying. Okay. When you gave him that damage, I thought that he would have to be carrying around this major scar for the rest of his life.
Oh, that's definitely.
Now I recall.
But it's only going to be
and like when it rains, you get a pain down your neck and through your chest.
The scar's like discolored. It's more of a bluish.
Yes.
Yeah.
It almost like a lightning bolt. It's very thick. Dried bubble gum. It feels 3D. Anyway, you watch Miraz walk down this tunnel.
Do slurp slurp slurp.
I suppose we should follow here, and I follow.
Perfect.
Close behind.
You head down the tunnel, and as you move through the tunnels, you pending darkness come from it. Do any of you have light or the ability to see?
I have my cell phone and my flashlight on my gun.
Perfect. Let's call that. Do either of you two see in the darkness? I don't know what you
No, I wander heedlessly into the dark alone.
Yep.
Yeah, she's just like... but you illuminate the back, and as you all begin following together, the smell of cooking meat wafting through the cavern. You move deeper, the ice reflecting. So you sort of break into a larger room. Here you see roast over some flesh. See a number of beds.
You're kind of cutting out.
What?
You're kind of cutting out. Can you start with, we smell roasted flesh?
Yeah, you smell roasted flesh, and you enter this room where the dwarves presumably slept. There are cots, sort of piles of rags all over the floor, skins from creatures you don't recognize. Sort of looks like their home base. There's only a single tunnel that exits with a door beyond this. But you do sense ciphers in this room.
Plural?
Yes.
Okay. I'm gonna weird aqua bloodhound check them out. I want to sniff them out, and I want to unearth them like a pig looking for a truffle.
Yeah, and you do it with your nose, you root open a chest at the bottom of a dwarven bed, and pieces of clothing and Doran Iron Fist steel fall all over the floor, and you.
I'm so just casually throwing these important belongings to the side in search of whatever it is that's making this.
Yeah, and at the bottom you see 3 ciphers. I'm assuming you guys all kind of come up together.
That is right.
Hey, check it.
Everybody roll a D6.
5.
3.
3.
All right.
I'll re-roll.
Yeah, you 2 re-roll.
Okay.
What did you roll, Joe?
5.
I got a 6.
And I rolled 4.
5, 6, and 4. 4, 5, 6?
That's a 4.
Perfect. We'll do we'll do 5 first. Who rolled 5?
Me.
You get the Rejuvenator. It is a syringe, and you take a moment and look at it and realize that if you stuck this into your thigh, you would regain 6 points to 1 stat pool.
Ooh.
Sort of looks like an EpiPen. It's got yellow, big bold writing on it.
Love it.
So strange.
Who rolled a 4?
I
Alex.
rolled a 4.
Wow, this works out really well, actually, because there was a specific item that Bob rolled, the only one on this, that only Bob can use. But anyway, number 4. You, Charlemagne, pick up a wig. Get the feeling that this wig is called the Karen. It is a wig that causes the wearer to truly believe something that defies all logic until it is removed. And Bob, or Reza, you reach in and feel a familiar wear. It almost feels like clay, and as you pick it up, you recognize this as a block of C4. It is called Eddie's secret weapon. Your ciphers for the time being.
That's awesome. Is anyone severely damaged right now that they could use this syringe, or should I just keep it?
Nah, just keep it.
You keep
Okay.
it.
All right.
This wig, it makes me believe something that defies all logic.
Or whoever you put it on.
It's a wig that causes the wearer to truly believe something that defies all logic until it is removed.
That's awesome.
Okay. Just like the price.
That is a suggestion from Zia.
Thank you.
Very good.
Yeah.
And the Eddie's secret C4 is also Zia. So well done.
Yay.
I wonder who's
Wow,
gonna win
we
MVP
got
this week.
What about the EpiPen?
EpiPen is just one from the book. I'm doing sort of mix match. Some from us, because the ones from us are unarguably funnier, but there's a pretty big sliding scale between absolutely useless, and the ones from the book are much more mechanically inclined. And I feel like you guys, and for the game we're going to play, you're going to need a mix of both.
Absolutely.
So you're standing in this room. There seems to be only one door leading to what you must presume is an exit.
That is a very big presumption, but we are looking for the stone, no? This silly stone. And if we are in a cave full of stones, why don't we grab a stone and just tell them this is the stone? They may not know the difference. Idiots. And he reaches down and he picks up a stone.
And
Yeah,
when
yeah.
You reach for the stone, but you actually grab Beep Borp's head, cowering, and he's like, "Oh, hi guys, well done with those dwarves, by the way."
Al, you silly robot, what are you doing here?
Oh, I've just been following you guys. I was actually on Miraz's back for a little while. You like see the imprint of the robot that's been like clinging to you.
Like smooshed into my skin.
Yeah, it was like an imprint. Like, the courts do know what the stone looks like, so we might want to make sure we find it.
Yeah, shut up. Pierre. Let's go. Let's see if this door really is the exit. Who knows? Maybe we will go to a place which is not here. For that is where I wish to be. Somewhere that is not here.
We go through the door.
You open the door and you feel a gust of cold wind coming from the tunnel before you. sends a chill up your spine, but also a warm.
Nope,
Begin-
you cut out. A
Not
warm
for everybody
reminder.
else. Just,
Yeah.
just try to figure it out. No, I'm not. Trust me, we're good. You
right.
continue down the tunnels. Long road eventually moves to train tracks, minecart tracks, wood beams that support the tunnel, and eventually starlit sky beyond. You break from the mine to see that the sky is still dark. 2 violet moons are still high above your head. The snow-covered mountainside is deep. However, Mraz, as you turn back, you smell.
Yo, wait. Wait, I smell something. Wow, what does it smell like?
It's like pie.
What kind of pie?
Doesn't matter. It's pie. Let's go.
Give me
But it
a
does.
intellect roll.
Absolutely. 12. 12?
Yeah, perfect. Oh, sorry. Maybe I am cutting out.
Oh, maybe.
Shut up, Alex. Shut up. Whatever. But there's no dip in the
They
stream.
say Harlan and Alex are occasionally cutting out.
Yeah, it's the
There's no-
brotherly thing.
Harlan, didn't hear a single thing you just said there.
What?
We
The
opened
pie.
the door to the hall.
That's all that matters.
That's
Pie.
weird, though. There's no reason.
No, that's okay. Just come closer to your mic, maybe.
I'm as close as I could possibly be. Maybe I'll just turn down the gate. Maybe I was too chill. You
So,
exit.
long story short,
I'm just gonna
we
say it
come
again.
into the. Sure.
Yeah, you exit the mine to smell pie on the wind. And then I asked for an intellect roll, which was given a 12. Mraz, in the distance, you see a plume of smoke and a small, snow-covered hut. It looks like it could be an inn or a tavern. It's only a short walk away.
That looks pretty cozy. What kind of pie? Is it meat pie
It's
or
apple pie.
Okay, let's go. Apple pie for show.
Just
Perfect.
as long as it's not a blackbird pie. I've had blackbird pie. It's not tasty. They tried to kill me with blackbird pie. There's a story somewhere in there. I'm not really sure. Let us go.
The three of you trudge through the snow.
Schlorp, schlorp, schlorp.
Slorping through, your clone sort of walking off the path every once in a while and then veering back. And as you approach the tavern, you hear the lively music inside. It sounds like piano music. Just someone banging away. What?
Bang away.
At the piano.
Get away. Dun, 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 dun.
You know how it is.
No, I like it. I like it. It's good. It's good. I like it.
You open the door, and the warm smell of apple pie immediately permeates your senses. The three of you feel the warmth of the crackling fire. The inside is filled with men and women wearing bizarre clothing, all looking like they're from an era closer to Charlemagne's than the ones that you both independently left. The tables are full with delicious-looking food. The woman behind the bar is singing loudly to the man who plays piano in the corner. People are swinging from chandeliers and toasting large flagons of ale, and they all turn to you as you enter and they say, "Hello!" and they cheer and all begin to drink whatever beer they had as if it's a celebration that you three have arrived. Immediately, as everyone drains their glasses, they all head up to the bar to refill their pitchers. Some people make an eye contact to you, whispering to other people, "I fucking told you!" And the door shuts behind you, leaving the cold outside where it belongs.
And Charlemagne enters in a very dramatic sense, as if he is being
Celebrated?
celebrated here. Like, this is about me. Oh, my people. Yes, thank you. We are here. And he enters and like goes looking for hugs, and they're
Yeah,
not. They don't
and he's greeted
come to
warmly.
him.
You see Charlemagne enter a group. They all slap him on the back. They pull him up to the bar, and he sort of gets lost. Reza, Miraz, what are you two doing?
Miraz turns to Reza and she's like, this is weird, right? This seems weird to me. Is it just me? Is this weird or is it just me? It could be just me.
It's not just you.
What's going on?
A thin-looking man in a sort of a pork pie hat walks up and says, "Oh, fucking hell, I thought better, but I was wrong. Welcome. Did he push you in too?"
And that's when
yeah.
Charlemagne comes back, looking exhausted. Is it touching me? These are not my people. This is not what I thought it was. What are we doing here? I don't like pie anyways. Who is this man?
Oh,
And that's when I turned to the man.
name's fucking Paul Dano. Put him there. And he holds out his hand, trying to shake all of yours simultaneously.
It's not. This doesn't ring a bell for me. Is it supposed to ring a bell for me?
No,
Okay, good.
that's it.
Okay.
I can't believe he pushed 3 of you in at once. Damien Awesome Cool, right? That bastard pushed you here, right?
Yeah.
Actually, you're correct.
We're not wrong, boys.
And he turns to the crowd and they go wild again.
Oh, shut up, fuck off. Welcome. You're on the dead moon of Crichton, small ice planet Damien uses to offload problem people. He pushed me in here 5 years ago because I cut in front of him at a Baton Rouge. He think that's bad. He pushed him in here 7 years ago because he sneezed on him. And that's his fucking dad.
And there's like a guy who looks like an older version of Damien with a beard. He's like, "Oh,
Hi, I'm John. Awesome, cool.
But you're here now with friends. And welcome. And believe you me, you're going to be here for a long fucking time."
and everyone erupts into applause and cheering as you each look at each other. And we're going to end there for tonight, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh my god.
Boy.
Um,
What a trip.
Great job. Great combat. A little bit of difficulty there. And you got some fun ciphers. I am excited. Yeah, well done, guys. Another round of applause for you.
And a round of applause for you, oh great one, GM.
G-Man.
G-Man. Is there a special
I feel-
word for the game runner in The Strange?
I don't know. I never actually checked. Probably.
Oh strange one is what
Strange
I will call
man.
you.
Ooh, I like that.
Strange.
Oh, strange one.
Stranger.
The Stranger. Narrator is what I call myself in this. But yeah, that was a blast. Well done. Great combat. We got a good feel for it. MVP, I think we got to give it to Zia this week
Oh, yeah.
for doing those awesome ciphers.
Thank you, Zia.
Remember to continue offering those ciphers. They are great ideas, and I'm going to be using them when we can. Big round of applause for the players here, Bob, Alex, and Joe. Wonderful job, guys. And that is it from us. Joe has to head off to work. Like I said, she's working at midnight tonight, which is always sad, so we can't stay around too long. But we will be back next week for The Strange Chapter 3. Good night, everyone.
Bye.
Good night.
See ya.